Hi, I'm Matthew Rowan, founder and CEO of Process PA. Our company focuses on management committees and boards. We build cloud software to make governance and administration easy and enjoyable. And we focus around the three areas specifically: automation, compliance and continuity. Automate what we can, help in compliance, minutes being the critical part of that, and continuity. So a lot of the organisations that we work with have handovers every couple of years, and making that really seamless so that that record is contained well for the organisation is what we focus on. I'd been in my last company as an employee for 9 years and 2 months. I'd been then, like I said, working on this idea for the last 6 or so months. I'd tinkered a lot on the side as well, and getting along to River City Labs events, because I'm interested in the startup space, obviously, and that's the place to be in Brisbane. So I see that the Accelerator program stuff comes up, and I'm like, give anything a go, right? And so I went along to the roadshow events, first met the people, and the feedback I've actually got after the fact is, when they first met me, they wrote me off. They're like, this guy's boring, what he's doing is boring, I just don't want to talk to him, right? And then I rocked up at the at River City Labs on one of their open houses in the afternoon, which part of the roadshow they were doing pitch competitions. Right, so anyone who wanted to pitch their idea had 1 minute to pitch it, and so I pitched it, and I actually won that pitch. All right, and like Steve Baxter was there as he behind River City Labs and from Shark Tank, and so that was encouraging and surprising as well, because if you haven't pitched much before, a minute goes very quickly. And I remember I prepared stuff, and they got a clock right there in front of you, and I'm pitching it away, and all I've got is all the problem explained, and I've got like 5 seconds to go. So it's like, and we're going to solve that, right? So not even getting into the solution, but obviously the problem hit the nerve, right? Within the Accelerator, we got given no-fail goals we had to set each week, and the first few weeks I was doing very poorly. Like, it wasn't so much of the optimism, it was just so much to get done and try and get the stride of it. But after the first few weeks, once we had that prototype up, we actually started hitting the goals very consistently, and so that was really exciting. So before we had a product to sell properly, we had closed 12 sales, and so closing these sales was really exciting because it's a committee. We had to get a committee to make a decision on something that doesn't exist fully yet. We had only given them the concepts with a prototype. By that time, I'd also realized that the solution I was building certainly doesn't just apply to PNCs and any incorporated association. So we've got sporting clubs on now, and it goes all the way up to not-for-profit boards, charities, and then even business boards. And so they have slightly different requirements, but a lot of the mechanics are the same. Some of the struggles we've had is really around the capacity. It ends up being the solo founder stuff is crippling. So it's always this balance of, how much am I trying to do on sales? How much am I trying to do on product development? How much am I doing on supporting our existing customers? I found we had many things getting to like 80% done, and 80% done is not done. So really focusing on going, okay, I know we need to do that sales or that support or that development, but let's just focus on what we've got right now, get our BAS statement finished, right? Like if it's 80% done, it's not done. And so really focusing on, let's just finish a task before we go on to the next, even though everything's screaming to be touched. One thing I found that's interesting to know now is, and like I kind of knew it from the backseat perspective in the other business I was in, is you've really got to hold back your excitement for things that potentially look really good. So there has been lots of potentially good things, and they don't work out. Right? And so it's like, that's okay, you just keep going on to the next one. The other thing is too, it's not that they don't just work out, it's that they still may. Things just take way longer than you expect. Especially in the space that I'm in, things move really slowly. And still I'm struggling with it while learning the lesson is, you just need to fill the top of that funnel huge so that you will have enough landing later. And it's like, don't get excited by the one deal. It's like, oh, this partnership we've got, it's gonna be awesome, it's gonna change our business. It's like, it may, and that'd be great, but don't just stop everything else and focus on that one. Get the other 10 going as well, and hopefully one of them will drop. I think I've come into starting a business at so the right time in Australia and Queensland. The scene 3 or 4 years ago was non-existent, absolutely non-existent. When I was tinkering on the side, I was just following everything in the US, right? With lots of influencers over there. Just being in the space has been really good in general. So being out of River City Labs, it's amazing how little work you get done while you're in there. And I'm not based there permanently now, but you get little work done on what you're planning to get done because of all the input that you get from what's just happening around you, and that's really good. And Steve Baxter, he's around a lot, and he gives his time really generously. But one thing that he keeps saying at the moment is the traction trumps opinion, right? So get that attraction, doesn't matter what people think of your product. And the other thing too is that customers are the best source of funding. For more information about Process PA, just visit our website, processpa.com.